guys, this is Goldschala. Today we're going to be learning what GUIs are and create our very own visually stunning GUI. We're going to do this by using a vast Python library called Tkinter. This is an ideal tool used by professional Python developers. So without further ado, let's get started. GUI stands for Graphical User Interface. The Graphical User Interface is a form of user interface that allows users to interact with electronic devices through graphical icons instead of text-based UIs. In 1983, Apple introduced the first commercial use of a GUI in the Lisa computer, followed shortly thereafter by the much more famous Apple Macintosh in 1984. Then, in 1985, Microsoft released Windows 1.0. The introduction of these systems revolutionized the use of personal computers, paving their way to reaching the general public. Before these, the use of command line UIs restricted their use to advanced business users, scientists, and information technology experts. This was the first ever graphical user interface created by Xerox Palo Alto Research Center, and as you can see, there's loads of graphical icons which you can click and it's going to provide a new graphical user interface for you. Knowing how important graphical user interfaces were when they first came about, we're going to learn how to create our very own GUI program using Tkinter, so we're no longer relying on the console-based or text-based programs. And as you can see below in my description, my video description below, there's going to be a GitHub link, and if you go ahead and paste that link in your browser, you're going to get to this page. In this page, I've provided you with the main.py with all the starting codes, which is going to make your program much easier, and a logo.png, which will provide you with the Steam icon. And in today's video, what we're going to be trying to achieve is we're going to make a Steam sign-in UI, which will ask you for the email and password, and you can type that if you want, and you're going to provide your password. So let's say my password's example, and if you enter, your details are going to go away and it's just going to act like a Steam sign-in UI. So let's get on with our project. And once you have pasted your main.py and you have imported your logo.png inside your project folder, you're going to get your folder looking something like this. So as we have to create our window, and you have to add a picture and you have to add a details background. So the first thing we need to do in all that is we have to make a window which is going to be the size of 750. So this is 500 and the height of my window will be 750. As you can see, I've imported Tkinter, and the first thing I'll do is I'll assign a variable called window to the window class in my Tkinter. And this window class is called TK. We will have to define the size of this window, and this is done by a function called minSize. And you can see it asks for a width and a height. I'll give it a width of my dictionary in here, which is, the name of my dictionary is window size, and its key is X, and my height of my window will be window size with a key of Y. I will name the window. As you can see, I've named my window over here password manager. So to name it, there is a function called title. I'll name it password manager. And to display my window I will have to main loop my window. So this will of course display my window. So if I run my program, you're going to see that a window is generated and it's got a width of 500 and a height of 750. I would like to change the color of this window. And we can do that by configuring my window by writing window.config, and inside the brackets I will pass the background parameter into any color I like. I want the background color to be the BK color I have provided you with inside the main.py. So I will just call this BK color function variable. So now if I run my program, you're going to see that my window color is the color that I've gave you inside this variable. So now we have to display this logo.png at the top of my window. So to do that, we will need to create a canvas in which we're going to display the image. So I'll go ahead and create a canvas. I'll name it logo canvas, and I will call the canvas function, the canvas class. So I will give this canvas a width of my image size, which is 256 multiplied by 256. Do the same with the height. And now I need to create a variable in which this photo is stored. So I'll make another variable. I'll call it logo, and to store that file inside a variable, I will need to call a function called photo image, and I'll pass the file in. The file is logo.png, and pass that in double quotes. And now I just need to create this image inside my canvas. I'll do that by logo canvas.create image, and the image, it will be logo, and the position of this image should be right in the middle of the canvas, so which is going to be 128,128. As you can see, 128 is a half of 256. And now all I have to do is I have to place my logo canvas inside my window. So to do that, I will call my logo canvas, and I will write dot place, and then you can pass the coordinates of your logo canvas as desired. And in my photo canvas position, I have passed in the value of X and Y. So I will call the photo canvas pass in the key of X, and my Y coordinate of my logo canvas is photo canvas pos, and the key is Y. So now if I run my program, you will see that I have created a canvas which inside is my photo, my logo.png. As you can see though, there is a white background in the canvas which we want to get rid of. So to get rid of this, I just need to configure my logo canvas. I'll just pass a parameter in here, and I'll write highlight background, and I want the background color of this canvas to be the same color as my window color, so it doesn't look like we have another canvas, and it just looks like that we've got our photo, the icon of Steam. So my color of my window color was saved inside this variable called BK color, and I will just call this variable over here. And I will also write, because what this highlight background does is there is a tiny outline right around the border of the canvas, and it just changes that highlight background color to my BK color. And as well as that, we are going to give the background of my canvas to the same variable. So now if I run my program, you're going to see that I've completely gotten rid of my background. And if you remove this, you would see that there is a tiny highlight of the color white, and as we want to get rid of this, we are going to keep my highlight background equal to bk color. So now to have our outcome looking like this, we're going to create another canvas in which our details are going to go in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a canvas. I'll name it details canvas, and I'll pass the canvas function, and I want the canvas to have the width of whatever we have gave in our details bg size. So our width is details bg size with a key of x, and our height is details bg size with a key of height. Sorry, this is not x, this is width. And I will give it a background of the color that I have gave over here, which is details, oh, not over here, detail bg color. And I will just place my canvas dot place inside my variable. I'll give it the details of my variable over here, which is details bg pos x. So x is equal to details bg pos, and y is equal to details bg pos y. So if I run my program now, you're going to see that I've created a canvas just like my program over here, and all I need to do is I need to add a label for my email password, and I have to add an entry and my enter button. So now I'm gonna add a label. I'll call it email label, and I will assign it to the label class. And instead of creating an independent label, I will add it to my details canvas, because if I don't add it to my details canvas, let me just show you. Mail label dot place. I'll place it right in the middle so you can just see. It's gonna create a background of the color white, which is going to be impossible to get rid of. So I will make a label, and I will tap into my details canvas, and I will create text inside my details canvas, and the text I will write later, but right now I'll give the position of my detail canvas. I'll give the position where I want my email label to go inside my details canvas. So this is given inside email label pos, and I'll just write that over here. Email label pos y. And now I will configure my details canvas. I'll tap into my email label, and now I'll pass what the text is. So I'll just write details canvas dot item config. I'll tap into my email label by just stating it and then adding a comma, and then I'll write text is equal to email. I want the font of my label. We can pass the font, and we can write the font. I wanted this to be a Korea, and I want it to have a size of 15. And the last thing I need to do is just run it, and you're going to see that my email is printed over here, but the color is black, and I want the color to be white. So to change the color, I will just add a fill parameter and I'll give it a color of white. And I will make another password label this time, and I'll do the same that I did for my email label. And I will add it to my details canvas. So I'll write details canvas dot create text, and I want it to have like my email label, I want it to be in my password label pos x and my password label pos y. Password label pos x, password label pos y. And I want it to have a color of white. And now I'm going to configure my details canvas so that I can change the text of my password label. Text is equal to password, and I want it to have a font which is the same as my email label. And I'll do the same for its entry. Password entry is equal to entry with a width of 40, and my password entry should be placed in password entry pos x and password entry pos y. So now to run my program, you're gonna see that my email passwords, entries and labels have been displayed correctly, and all I need to do, which we haven't done yet, is we have to add this enter button. And that's pretty simple because Tkinter is such a vast library, and if you want to access the library of Tkinter, you can just write Tkinter Python library, and you're going to get the documentation of Tkinter. And I'd like you to try and figure out how you do the button on your own. So pause the video and try and add the button to our program. So I hope you've had a good go at it, and let's try and use the documentation to try and make the button. So let's try and find the button. And as you can see, I pressed Ctrl F and I've typed in button, and there is something called dot button, and then it asks you the text and the command. So let's try and implement this in our code. So I'll make a button, I'll name a variable. Let's name it add button or continue button. And I'll give it the button class, and it asks for two main parameters, which are its text and the command. So text is what you want displayed on your button. So for example, in this I've displayed enter, so that's the text. And command is what you want to do when you press this button. So for example, if I type something like example@gmail.com and my password is also example, if I type enter, I want this text to disappear. So that's my command. So I'll go into Python and I will add a button, and I'll give it its text. Let's give the text continue, and its command, we have to give its command. So we're gonna make a function, and I'll name the function button command. And to define the function, of course, we need to add def and then write the name of the function. and brackets, and then we're going to pass whatever we want to do inside this function. So inside this function, I want to clear whatever we have passed inside of here. So I want to, whatever it is that we've passed over here, I want it to go away when I press enter. So I'm going to tap inside my entry and I'm going to delete whatever was inside my entry. And we're going to do that by tapping inside my email entry. Alright, delete, and you have to delete whatever there is in the entry. So you have to pass from where to where you want the text to delete. So I wanted to delete from the starting till the end. And do the same for password entry, dot delete from 0 to the end. And I will write the name of the function inside button command, and remember to not call the function, just write the name of button command, because if you call the function, the button's going to think that whenever you press the button, it's everything's going to go wrong. So now if I before running it, I need to place my continue button dot place, and I'll place it inside the X and Y value that we have passed inside my enter button post dictionary. So X is equal to enter button post X. Do the same as what we've been doing, and I've given you this all of these positions beforehand, so you don't spend time trying to find the exact position where you want the button or where you want the entry to be. And as you can see now, our program is working and it's just as what we want it to be over here. So let's pass in a random Gmail and let's pass in a random password. Press continue. You're gonna see that my email password or its entry, it's now empty, just as how the Steam login UI works. So this is how Tkinter works, and of course you can jumble around, muddle these positions around, the colors around, you can muddle change the window size around. You can do whatever you like with Tkinter, and you can go ahead to create many wonderful programs. You can make your own websites, which you can even publish. And Tkinter, it's such a strong tool, and you can of course use the documentation. And you can see Tkinter library is huge, so you can do whatever you like with this library. I hope you should try and make your own programs and use this video for reference. And that's it for today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.